What's up, y'all? I'm Joji Games and Proing. Now, as you can see, after I was working on actually, when I was finalizing my last few TF2 commentaries, I discovered this game called Paladins. And yeah, I honestly, when I saw the trailer, I first thought it was, something related to, Overwatch, because, the visuals look very similar. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I never played Overwatch so far. I mean, I wish I did, but I just can't right now because, it's a little overpriced. At least, for me, it's a little overpriced. I mean, it must be like something like, 60 or 40 bucks. But yeah, for me, that's a little bit of money, especially for a game. I mean, yeah, nowadays games are very expensive. I mean, I don't remember games being that expensive, when during the, N64 era or GameCube era. But yeah, now it seems like we're in a different generation and games are being more expensive. But yeah, anyways, yeah, I just want to say that when I first heard about it, everybody, I mean, I was reading all the reviews before deciding to try the game out, and it seems like people have been calling it a poor man's version of Overwatch, or a ripoff. I mean, to me, I don't really care about it, because if I didn't play Overwatch, this doesn't really concern me as one of the. It's like I'm not one of these guys who calls it a ripoff, because I didn't play Overwatch, and it makes sense for those who did play Overwatch, because like I said before, the visuals look very similar. I mean, maybe it was made on the same engine or something. I mean, I don't know much about the Paladins so far, but yeah, it was really hard for me to record, a gameplay footage, because I recorded something, and then I decided to scrap it because the audio was very bad, because there are these moments where there's a lot of stuff going on, and when that happens, the audio just becomes all messed up, and it sounds like a dubstep song is playing. I'm not sure if it's only happening on my laptop, but hopefully it is, because like, I know it's still an early version. I mean, by the time I was playing, it was still an early version. Like, I downloaded an early access version. Like, I'm not sure if it's still in beta right now, but yeah, it's like when the audio was just so bad, and but the visual, it's like visually it looked good. Like, it didn't look so bad. It just sounded bad, because there are these moments where, like I said, the audio would be all messed up, because there's too much stuff going on. But yeah, after that, I had a lot of trouble re-recording it, because I got like 4 black screens of death. Because like I said earlier in another video, I can't really play any games on Steam, because I think my laptop is expiring. So I'm working on getting a desktop computer, so I can finally play some games without having trouble. I mean, some PC games. But yeah, I also play a couple of emulators. I mean, games on emulators, but still, I still want to try out some more games on Steam, because there are some really good games out there. But yeah, the only problem is that in my current situation, I just can't play any games on Steam, and that really ruins the fun for me, because I still enjoy TF2, and that's pretty much the only game on a Steam game I play. And I usually try to look for free games, because I don't want to spend too much money on online games. But yeah, as I was saying earlier, I had a lot of trouble recording this, but yeah, I have no idea how I managed to record this, but I thought it was better. There are still these moments where it sounded very bad. I mean, the audio sounded very bad. and there are these moments where, you know, I would lose a lot of frames. You know, we call this lagging. But yeah, I tried again and again until I did, and you know, I didn't care about the black screen of death. I just wanted to record something, you know. I am not one of those guys, who give up that easily, especially when I'm messing around with a laptop that's expiring. You know, if it's something else, like you know, if it was something different, like, you know, something that's other than, you know, trying to mess around with some equipment or, you know, some hardware or so, that would probably be a different story. It's like saying, you know, you wouldn't give up. It's like saying I wouldn't give up trying to break, you know, one of these boxes, but I'd probably give up trying to, you know, try to come up with a formula as a wannabe scientist. You know, it's like there are these moments where you give up on something, but when you try something else, you don't give up, because, you know, there are these moments where it's like, oh, this is a strong point and this is a weak point. But yeah, I also now I want to talk about Paladins, the game itself. Now, yeah, like I said before, when I was recording this, I mean, this was pretty much the last time. When I was recording this, that was pretty much the last time I played this. I hope I'll get to play it some more, because I actually do enjoy this game. Well, mostly because I never played Overwatch. But yeah, if we overlook the fact that it has its similarities, well, you can actually say that it's actually a pretty enjoyable game. I'm not saying it's great, because, you know, like, you know, games need a certain amount of originality, and this one doesn't have a lot of it. I mean, maybe some of the characters have a bit of originality to them, but yeah, I don't know everything about Paladins so far. I mean, I don't want to know everything. I pretty much want to enjoy the game, and, you know, trying to enjoy as much as possible. But yeah, as you can see, I was playing as Drogos, and by far, he's my man. I mean, he's my favorite character by far. I mean, I actually should say he's my dragon. Yeah, he is a dragon. It's like, I think the idea of having dragons in video games was probably popularized by Skyrim. I mean, I'm not sure about it, but for me, Skyrim was the game that for me made it possible to have, you know, dragons in fantasy games or so, without making it look, you know, old and cliched. I mean, Skyrim did it very well. I mean, you know, it was so well done that the idea of having dragons in this role-playing game was actually like playing this. It actually felt like the idea of having dragons in any form of video game or movie felt very fresh and new. Because, you know, a lot of people, including me, call this one of the greatest games of all time, and yeah, it actually is a really good game. Like, I'd probably put the Skyrim on one of my top 5 favorite games. Probably not my, it's probably not my number 1 favorite. But yeah, there are also a lot of people who say this is the greatest game of all time. But yeah, because it's like having a dragon as a favorite character for me is really surprising. I mean, for me, it's really surprising because I never thought I'd you know, enjoy playing as a dragon, even though you know, dragons can be like almost anywhere in fantasies. I mean, I'm not sure. I don't know everything about all the fantasy stuff that has been created. But yeah, also Drogos actually reminds me of the Demo Man. Like, for some reason he does, because, you know, he the way he shoots rockets, and when he you know, spits out this sticky looking you know, goop or whatever it is. You know, he has a lot of similarities to the Demo Man in Team Fortress 2. I mean, the game itself also has similarities to Team Fortress 2, and just like Overwatch, Overwatch has a lot of similarities to Team Fortress 2. But the thing is, From what I remember, the developers actually said themselves that they were inspired by Team Fortress 2. So they didn't really try to copy it, but try to make something, you know, similar, but not try to fully copy it, because, you know, TF2 is a very popular game, and you know, a lot of people a lot of people who were developing this game. A lot of people who were developing Overwatch must have been like, you know, big fans of TF2, and now it seems like the developers, the Paladins developers, must have been really big fans of both games. Like, you know, you have this payload objective, and you also have to control the point. I mean, that's what's happening in this gameplay. But yeah, like I said earlier, if we can overlook all of the similarities, I overlooked them, and I really enjoy the game. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.